Howdy folks, I thought I'd share a video of the 6 reasons why I love riding small motorcycles. Before I do though, I'd like to give a nod to the big bikes I've had. I used to love the feel of big bikes, like my BMW ST1100, my Pan European and my 1200 Harley Sportster. The thrill of twisting the throttle and pulling 0 to 60 from a set of lights in under 4 seconds. Akin to an Aston Martin DBS with its 5.2 litre engine and 715 horsepower, but at a fraction of the cost. Or the feeling of being pushed back onto my seat as I opened the revs. It was exhilarating, like a drug, but I'd often feel relieved when I got home. I'd gotten away with it, again. Giving up big bikes was like giving up smoking. The following 6 reasons why I love riding small cc motorbikes will help to explain how I quit what, for me, was a dangerous addiction. I had more confidence than competence. I had a competitive switch in my head that flipped too often. I'd set myself challenges on the way to Matlock on my BMW GSA 1200, but I had to overtake 7 more cars before arriving. Deep down I knew that wasn't the rider I wanted to be. But in terms of brake horsepower, it's horses for courses. What suits me doesn't suit everyone, and I love riding with anyone, whether they're on a little Honda 50 or a Rocket 3. We share a love of biking, but choose our rides to suit our needs. Reason number 1. Nostalgia. As a teenager, I had a Honda ST70 parked down the side of our house. It was there for about 3 years without a lock on. It only got nicked once. We found it a few days later, dumped in the brook, semi-submerged. But after a bit of a dry out and a change of spark plug, it plopped back into life. Me and my mates would chip in for some petrol. Back then the National Garage, the one with the Smurfs in, wouldn't bat an eyelid at a group of 13-year-olds with a jerry can putting in a meagre amount of fuel. These aren't just my memories though. We all started with small bikes over the fields, whether it was an ST70 like mine, or a C90 Cub, or a Fizzer, or a Crosser. Riding one again now, it's like stepping back 40 years. Reason number 2, the fun factor. I was inspired to get a C90 about 12 years ago by watching Ed March on a YouTube channel called C90 Adventures. He opened my mind up to how much fun you could have on a small bike. It also showed just how capable, reliable and easy to maintain these bikes were compared with the big counterparts. It was a revelation to find out these little bikes weren't just a cheap way of getting to work or to pop to the shops. You could take them off-road, go and have a play in the mud or on long trips, but more about that in reason 6. There's also the adage that it's more fun to ride a slow bike fast than a fast bike slow. These bikes take me back to a time when you were trying everything to get an extra mile an hour on your clock. Back to the times when I'd tank it on my CB100N. Tanking it was when you'd lie with your chest flat on the tank and pop your feet on the rear indicators to make yourself as aerodynamic as possible. It was also known as going the full Burt Munro. I may not have had the world's fastest Indian, but in my head I had the world's fastest CB100. At the time I had a small bike, the C90, and a big bike, but I found that I would spend more time on the 90. I would have carried on with one of each, but fate intervened when I went to the Honda dealer looking to replace the C90 with a Super Cub 125, and I first saw the new Honda Z125 Monkey. I ended up selling the big bike I had at the time, the Triumph Speedmaster, and bought the Monkey. That was 5 years ago, and I haven't had a big bike since. It rekindled my love for small bikes, and the nostalgia soon kicked in. I could pull up at a bike night, park next to a 20 grand Ducati, go for a brew and come back to find half a dozen middle-aged blokes around my little 125. It was clear that things were changing. Reason number 3, camaraderie. Small bikes were becoming a new addiction, and it wasn't just me who was affected. I got the Monkey in October 2019. In the first 18 months of owning it, I didn't see another one on the road or at any of the bike meets. So I started this YouTube channel, Monkey Adventures, to raise awareness of this great bike and to share the fun I was having on it. Subscribe folks, it's free and it is appreciated. Things started to evolve. We'd have 2 or 3 monkeys going on rides, then it was 5, then about 7 of us regularly getting together. The main issue with the rides was getting the word out, so I started a Facebook group called the Monkey Revolution, which has welcomed over 3,000 members over the past couple of years. We're a friendly, worldwide community. Each member receives a unique Monkey Revolutionary number. We share pics of our bikes, our rides, modifications and news of upcoming events. Like the Isle of Man plans for the Monkeys annual event, which had 82 of us razzing around the Isle of Man in 2024, and 150 are expected for April 2025. The camaraderie of our Monkey Revolutionaries has kept me riding these small bikes and has helped my mental health significantly. At Christmas 2022, I had a mental health breakdown. I had severe anxiety which knocked me off my feet for a fortnight. When I felt I could ride again, at the start of January 2023, I'd said to a few of the revolutionaries that I was going to go to Rivy Barn on the Monkey to cook my breakfast outside. When I got there I was greeted by about 10 mates cooking the breakfast, and they'd left a space for me on the wall. It was overwhelming, but just what I needed. Thus the Monkey cookouts began. We've now done 17. Find the playlist in the description. Reason number 4, ease of use. When I had the GS1200 Adventure, I had to move my car and the wife's car into the street to get the bike out, then put them both back. Then I'd have to do the same again to return the bike to the garage. That's 8 car movements just to go out on a ride. I've mentioned off-roading. The small bikes are ideal for little tight roads, green lanes and off-road. I know that you can do all of that on the GS, but the C90, the Monkey, is very easy to pick up if things got beat on. Then there's cornering. Small bikes are far more forgiving. If you take a bend in the road in the wrong gear, you stand a much better chance of still being rubber side down when you come out of the apex if you're on a small bike. Reason number 5, cost effectiveness. These small bikes are so cheap to run. When I got my Monkey in 2019, it was around the £100 mark to insure it for me, £17 a year to tax, and it had a stated mile per gallon of a staggering 189 miles. I reckon I'm getting about 150 miles per gallon out of mine, but it costs sod all for a great day out. The running costs of my big bikes were more in line with my car. Then the servicing. You can drop the oil in a Monkey for the price of a litre of oil, and there's always room in the garage for one. Reason number 6, the challenge. furthest ride I've done so far on a small bike is 2,600 miles on the Monkey Garden Up in Tour, raising awareness of mental health for Andy's Man Club. Links are in the description. The main part of the pleasure in that ride was the challenge of doing it on a small capacity bike. The Honda CT125 was perfect for that challenge, with plenty of room for the required equipment, your tent, sleeping bag, food, cooking equipment, video recording gear, clothes, waterproofs, etc. Having a small bike makes me want to take on challenges to show what these little bikes can do. 2,000 miles into the 2,600 mile trip, a guy in a big bike was chatting to me and he said, "Where'd you take that little bike? Just local I suppose, to the shops and back?" So I told him of the tour I was on. He nearly choked on his Starbucks. Viva the Monkey Revolution. If you've enjoyed this video, like, subscribe and share with your friends. Viva the Monkey Revolution.